have you ever wondered what goes into creating mental health content that's genuinely helpful, but also, and this is the important part, really safe? Well, here at Meelevate, it is absolutely not guesswork. It's a blueprint. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and walk you through that exact strategy. So, let's dive in.
You know, personal growth, especially when it comes to our mental health, isn't something you just wing. It's a mix of art and science, and it comes with a huge sense of responsibility. That's exactly why every single thing we create is built on a very precise framework that is designed to guide and never ever to diagnose.
So, here's what we're going to look at to really break down our approach. We'll start with our mission, the why behind it all. Then, we'll get into the single most important rule we live by. After that, we'll unpack our ESPA blueprint, show you how it actually works, and we'll wrap it all up with our commitment to you.
All right, first up, a mission of elevation. Let's start right here with our mission. Because honestly, our why is what drives every single decision we make. When you boil it all down, our goal is to help you see the signs early and feel empowered to take the right next steps for you.
And our purpose is super focused. The first piece is just recognition, helping you notice that, hey, something might be off. The next part is making sure you understand that you are not alone in this. From there, we work hard to reduce shame, because shame is what keeps so many of us silent. And finally, and this is so important, we help you know when it's time to reach out for professional help. That mission leads us straight to our core guiding principle. This is the rule that governs everything we put out there. Think of it as the ultimate guardrail for safe and ethical communication.
And here it is. This is our mantra. You are helping people notice, not fix. We are not therapists, we are not doctors. The best analogy is the check engine light on your car's dashboard, right? We can alert you that something needs attention, but we are not the mechanic who fixes the engine. That distinction is absolutely everything to us.
And our rule shows up in the actual words we choose. We are so intentional about this. We stick to words that are about awareness, words like signs, patterns, emotional strain, and we actively avoid clinical terms like diagnosis, treatment, or cure. This isn't just about semantics, it's about staying in our lane and respecting that critical boundary.
Okay, so we have our mission, and we have our number one rule. So how do we make sure that every single piece of content lives up to those standards? Well, that's where the ESPA blueprint comes into play. Let's take a look.
I mean, this is the big question, right? For anyone creating content in the mental health space, this is what you have to answer. How do you build a system that you can trust to be safe and supportive every single time, without ever accidentally crossing that line into giving advice?
And our answer is the ESPA method. This is the invisible logic, the architecture underneath it all that powers every message we send. It's really the heart of our entire strategy for responsible awareness.
So let's break it down. E is for evaluate. This is where we help you just notice patterns without putting a label on them. S is for solution. And notice, we don't provide the solution. We talk about and normalize support options. P is for plan. This is all about reducing that I'm stuck feeling with really gentle, non-clinical next steps. And finally, A is for action, safely guiding people toward getting professional help.
So you can see how the whole ESPA framework is built to deliver on this one core promise. It all comes back to this: helping people recognize strain early, know their options, and then take responsible next steps. This framework is what keeps us true to that mission always.
Okay, so that's all the theory, the behind-the-scenes stuff. But what does this actually look like in the content you see every day? Let's get into awareness in action.
Now, the most important thing to know is that this framework is totally invisible to you, the viewer. You're never going to see a slide that says, Step 1, evaluate. It's not like that. ESPA is the foundation under the house. It's holding everything up, guiding the journey, but you don't actually see it.
So this is what that journey usually looks like. We start with a really recognizable, relatable experience. Then we talk a little about why something like that gets ignored. Stigma, fear, being too busy. Then we gently explore what it might be a signal of, but we never use labels. Then we explain why support is so important, and we always end with a clear, responsible next step. And you can see this structure applied to all sorts of topics. It doesn't matter if we're talking about mental overload or overthinking or that feeling of emptiness. The underlying blueprint is always there, making sure the experience is consistent, safe, and genuinely supportive, no matter the subject. So, when you put it all together,
The mission, the Notice Not Fix rule, the ESPA framework, it all boils down to one simple thing: our commitment to you. This is our promise, and it's the foundation of the trust we hope to earn. So, what does that promise look like? It means our content is always based on recognition, never diagnosis. It's always focused externally, pointing you toward real resources, not just inward. And the tone is always protective. We want this to be a safe space for you.
And that brings us to this. You've probably seen this disclaimer a million times, but for us, this isn't just the fine print we have to include. This is the final expression of our entire philosophy. It's the ultimate proof of our Notice Not Fix rule and our commitment to making sure you get real professional care when you need it most.
So I want to leave you with this question to think about. When we approach mental health awareness this intentionally, this responsibly, how might that begin to change the entire public conversation for the better? It's something we think about a lot.
And that's it. That's the mission, the strategy, and the blueprint behind everything we do here at Meelevate. Thank you so much for taking a peek behind the curtain with us.